Hello everyone, today I'm here to review another book for you. I am doing so good with these video book reviews, I will pat myself on the back right now. Anyway, the book I'm reviewing is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I don't know. Anyway, this was the Chick Lit's book of the month for February, so if you are a part of that, we've been using the hashtag Bright Places to discuss the book. And yes, I will say the March poll is up for the Chick Lit's book of the month, so I'll leave a link down below if you want to vote for that. Hint, my book I want to read is my book pick is I'll Meet You There by Heather Demetriou, so vote for that. Or, vote for whatever you want to do. But anyway, let's go on to review this book. Now, I read this on ebook, so I don't have a physical copy because I read mostly on my phone now, which is bizarre to me. But anyway, I read you the synopsis that's on my blog. That's from Goodreads, so I'll have to turn around for that. And you'll have to see me like this. Theodore Finch is fascinated by death, and he constantly thinks of ways he might kill himself, but each time, something good, no matter how small, stops him. Violet Markey lives for the future, counting the days until graduation when she can escape her Indiana town and aching grief of her sister's recent death. Finch and Violet meet on the ledge of the bell tower at school. It's unclear who saves whom, and when they pair up on a project discovering the natural wonders of the state, both Finch and Violet make more important discoveries. It's only with Violet that Finch can be himself, a weird, funny, live-out-loud guy who's not such a freak after all. And it's only with Finch that Violet can forget to count away the days and start living them. But as Violet's world grows, Finch's begins to shrink. It's clear from the beginning of this book that it's a sad book. I will say it is sad. If you want to read it, definitely grab your tissue box. And it's also clear from the description alone that Finch has a problem. I think he suffers from depression as well as maybe other things. It's a weird type of thing he has. Like he says he goes into this state of like a sleep and he just will be stuck in it for a while. And I never really quite understood what that meant, but I know that it was bad and I didn't want that to happen. And throughout the whole book, you see him trying to fight that and trying to, kind of stray away from that. And he is, like he said, he's fascinated with death. Not only does he maybe think about attempting the things, but when he does attempt them, he will not go through with it, obviously, and he'll go home and read statistics about it, like this famous person did that, and what's the statistic of people killing themselves doing that. So it's really odd. He's got a fixation on death, if you will, and that's just very, very odd. Now, Violet, on the other hand, was a popular girl. She had a great boyfriend, she had lots of friends, her best friend was her sister, and then her and her sister got into a car accident like a year ago, and her sister died, and her world just shattered. She just lost who she was. She lost the will to be to hang out with her friends, to be with her boyfriend. She just didn't want to be herself anymore, and she refused to ride in cars. She would only walk or ride her bike anywhere, and she just quit writing, which was one of her main loves, because her and her sister had a site called EleanorandViolet.com where they wrote, and she refused to do that, and she just lost who she was when she lost her sister. And it's a very interesting way that Violet and Finch meet. They meet on a bell tower. I'm not going to tell you the extended circumstances, but then after that, Finch kind of becomes not fixated, but he falls for Violet. So Finch, volunteers to be her partner for this geography project that they have to see at least 2 natural wonders of Indiana. They decided to take it further and just really explore and just learn a lot about different things in their state. And it's then when you see, like the description says, how Finch can truly be himself around Violet, and Finch is such an amazing character. He's one of my favorites I've read in a while of YA males because he's so quirky, he's so sarcastic, one week he's 90s Finch, one week he's clean-cut Finch. He's just different identities, and he's not a freak, he's just rather odd, and he's got, an illness that he can't explain to anybody, and he really can't even understand himself almost, it seems. And it's just around Violet he can finally be himself, and with that, Violet can finally start being herself again and finally start learning to let go and to learn how to live and realize that life does go on even if her sister is not here. And it's, like the description said, Violet world begins to grow when they start to hang out and start to, be with each other, while Finch is really struggling throughout this whole book because he falls completely in love with Violet and vice versa, and he really tries to fight this depression, this thing that's going on in his life, and he wants to really bad. And it's hard for him to control that, I think. That's one aspect of the book I didn't understand. Like, I understood that he was not well. I just really couldn't pinpoint what exactly was wrong with him, which I think that was the point of it, is that sometimes you can't really figure out what's wrong with you. You just need to talk about it to someone, and he really couldn't do that to anybody. He couldn't talk to anybody because no one understood him, nor did anyone believe him, which is super tragic. And this book was so well written. I immediately fell in love with it. Like, the characters were well written, the story was well written. I don't read too many sad books, and this wasn't 100% sad. The ending, holy crap, tearjerker. But you just see two characters that have so much struggles happening in their life kind of just be with each other and blossom and love, but yet still have all these things wrong and stuff like that. It was a beautiful love story. It's a beautiful story in itself about evolving and struggling and just all these different things. And, you know, with suicide on that, because Finch's a fixation on it, almost, if you will. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad I read it because I've just heard nothing but good things about this book. So, yeah, I gave it 5 out of 5, and I'm very harsh on my ratings this year because I'm like, if I'm not completely in love with it, I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5, and I was completely in love with it. I will say I didn't love how it ended, but I understood it completely, but I love this book. It's a book that'll make you think, a book that'll make you feel, a book that will make you cry, a book that'll make you laugh, that'll make you love. It's just got all the feels in the world in this book, and I just adored it so. So yeah, I will talk a little bit about the ending, just a tiny bit, so that's spoilers, but other than that, I'm going to keep it like that. I will say I do have a author interview on my blog with Jennifer Niven. I don't know. So I will leave the link down below to check that out. I asked her a few questions about the book and about her, and it was very fun doing that, and definitely check out the link down below for that because I was excited to do that, and hopefully I'll do that more in the future. But yeah, like I said, this book struggles with suicide, and the author's note in the back is very important. I suggest everyone who reads this book to read that, because if you are struggling with mental illness, if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, if you're just struggling with depression, anything in general, don't hold it in. Don't let it all boil up inside of you and do the worst thing you can do. Talk to somebody about it. Find somebody. Somebody out there will listen to you. I promise you. It may not be who you want it to be, but somebody will listen to you, and that's very important. So if you're struggling, get help. I promise you help is out there. I will leave some links down below to sites and stuff that could help you, that I know that Jennifer Niven left in her author notes, and it's a very serious topic, and I'm glad that I read this book to fully grasp it, because I have dealt with suicide in my family's life before, so it is a very hard-hitting, sad, awful topic, but it needs to be talked about, because there are things in life that we don't want to think about, but that happens, and it's just horrible. But like I said, I'll leave links down below, and know that there is help out there. So don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. There are so many people that probably feel the same way as you do. Anyway, please go check out the links down below, like I said, and as well as the author interview. And yeah, that's all for now. I'm going to talk about the book ending. So if you haven't read the book, please stop watching. And yeah, let's talk about the ending. The ending. It's like a bittersweet thing. I knew that Finch was ultimately probably going to kill himself, and I really didn't want that to happen. I thought maybe Violet would have helped him to, finally just been like, he can get through this. And he tried so desperately hard to be okay, and ultimately he wasn't. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's so tough. Violet handled it amazingly, I thought, especially after her sister died. It's the whole thing of people thinking her sister's life was taken away, but Finch has decided to end his own life, and it's like a different kind of funeral, because it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It was such a sad ending to a book, but then again so beautiful, because Violet can now finally be herself, finally live the life she's always wanted to live, and not feel so closed in, not feel so hopeless and so alone and so just shut off. And it's just so sad that Finch had to die and Finch had to kill himself, because he was such a remarkable character, and I just loved him so much. And I definitely cried when I read the ending. I was like, oh. But it was just so beautifully written, and the way it was like a scavenger hunt for her to finally get the closure with Finch, and because he left her without nothing, and I was like, you cannot leave her without nothing. You left all these Facebook messages for your family and friends, and then leave Violet with nothing. She's the one that really changed you. So the way that he left that scavenger hunt and then left that note, it was just, I was sobbing while she was reading it, and she was sobbing, you know, we're reading it in the book, and it was just, oh my gosh, so sad. Oh, such a beautiful but so sad book. I hate reading sad books, but then after I read them, I'm happy I read them because it just made me feel all these different things. And hey, that was my review of All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. If you have read this book, please let me know down in the comments what you thought of it, and let's have a discussion about it. Feel free, even after this month, to use the hashtag Bright Places to talk about the book, because I hope people still read this book. It's an amazing book that I think needs to be read. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Skin and bone.